Welcome to another podcast of Adeel Pirzada podcast. Today we got another special episode, and we have a very special guest in our studio, Natasha. Natasha owns a medical aesthetic clinic. It's called Natology, and we're gonna talk to her today about all the information that she got on the business and all her experiences. How are you doing, Natasha?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for coming down to our studio here. Before we get into that, get into all the info and all the things we want to learn from Natasha, I want to introduce my co-host as usual, Mr. Kevin Padillo. How are you doing, Kevin?
Doing fantastic. Thank you for having me, and glad to be here today. I'm really grateful to have Natasha here today, and glad that we could come every Friday to talk about business, real estate, making money. And before I get started, I'd like to introduce our company, Pircon Group. We are commercial contractors. We design and build many different places, from retail to restaurants to spas. Glad that we could be helping people all over Western Canada. And if you're interested, visit pircongroup.com. and you could apply for a quote or get in touch with us there. So introducing Natasha, this is pulled off her website, and we had a great convo before that. Natasha is a medical esthetician, certified as nutritional practitioner, and orthomolecular health practitioner with over 19 years experience working with skin. Since the appearance of our skin is often a reflection of our internal health, Natasha's integrated both professions and designed an all-around approach to help you reach your skin goals. And her programs use nutrition and lifestyle practices to address internal health and integrate modern skin care treatments for a full holistic approach. And finally, after coming 12 years of ongoing acne for herself with the use of food, exercise, and skincare and lifestyle changes, Natasha decided nothing would bring her great joy than sharing her knowledge and success with others.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's a quite of intro.
Yeah.
Nice.
Reminds me of reading in elementary school, like in front of the whole class. It was
Yeah,
it was like that.
Yeah. I'm not really good with medical terms and words myself, so I try to keep myself away from that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you can talk to me any terms about construction and real estate, I'll spit it out. But yeah, my wife is into kind of medical, and then she'll throw those kind of words all the time, and I don't get it. I have to ask her, how do you spell that?
Yeah,
How do you say it? I don't know these things. So that's great. So Natasha, so obviously today we want to talk about the business journey and the entrepreneurship and what you're doing and where you're going. But what I really am interested to know, why medical aesthetics, why into this field that you chose to go in?
It comes from personal experience and personal stories, personal struggles since I was 10 years old. Dealt with pretty severe acne my entire life, and it was really debilitating and really didn't allow me to put my best face and foot forward in the world. I was really having a hard time socially and maintaining relationships and kind of giving it my very best, even in any jobs that I was doing, because it really truly affected my overall confidence and how I would present myself to people. And so it was kind of a forever and ongoing research for myself. And when I got out of, I grew up in a small town, and we didn't have spas there. I didn't even really know what a spa was. So I left high school in 2003 for law, and I did 1 year, and I was like, what am I doing? This is not, I want people to come to me and be happy to see me. I want to be in a more giving position in life where I know I can make a difference. And so I went to aesthetic school, And that was just your basic aesthetics, more spa-like services. And through that experience, I really still saw a little bit of a gap. I was so passionate about it, but I saw a gap in the industry. There was just a lot of superficial, a lot of, try this product, it'll be your miracle and blah, blah, blah. And I always knew deep down there's a lot more to this, a lot more to the story that the industry wasn't sharing yet. And so over my time working in that industry, I slowly started to transition into working in dermatology type clinics and transitioning into more of the medical aesthetics. And so I saw another phase of improvement in my skin and in the clients and the patients that we were seeing, but still there was something missing. And so this was like 8 or 9 years into this industry already, and I thought, gosh, I'm still dealing with, the worst, and I'm acne, and I'm seeing my patients get to a certain stage, but it's never permanent, or whatever we're doing is a harsh solution that creates further issues in life, like psychologically or with gut health or autoimmune diseases because they're chronically on antibiotics or other prescription medications that do a lot of damage. So I went on my own personal health journey. I quit the industry. I thought I was done with it for good because there was a lot of, I felt lack of integrity in the space that I was working in. For example, a dermatologist that I was working for would pull me into her treatment room every morning and inject all the pimples that I would have on my face with what's called their cortisone injections. Basically, it's just like a quick fix, like, let's make this go away so that you look good for all my patients today. And so I kind of was like, if this is the solution that you have for me, but I'm selling something different to my clients, where's the integrity in this? So
weird.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, there are solutions, and there are solutions that work well for people, but they were not working for me. So I went on my own personal health journey, and I cured a lot of my problems, not just my skin, but I found out that I had a certain condition that resolved a lot of my life's issues, and I was so inspired, I went to nutrition school. And I went out of nutrition school thinking, I'm only going to do nutrition, but I'm going to still focus on the skin and how people can manage skin conditions, not just acne, but any kind of skin condition through nutrition.
So you went to aesthetic schools, right? Where you learned all about the skin and dermatology. And then after that, so years later, you went to nutrition school as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like it was about 10 years later.
Okay.
And I kind of thought it was going to be a complete career change, but with the same sort of focus. Although I wasn't certain, but when I was in college, every project that we did, I just couldn't help but continue to focus on the skin because it's just become a life obsession. And so I came out and I started to do an online business, and I was just consulting people nutritionally. But again, I was like, okay, there's still a gap. What are we missing? Because only nutritionally only gets someone so far, and it doesn't get them immediate results. It's a very long-term plan, not a short-term plan. So what I realized was that I needed to incorporate both. And so I developed this full 360 approach. I took my holistic nutrition practice and my medical aesthetics practice, brought it together, full 360, and then it was just like that was where the magic happened. And yeah, so that's my why. I love helping people. It changes their life, their world, their relationships, and their success. So
wow, that's actually amazing to know that that not only you kind of have the knowledge and education on the skin, the physical part, but you're also looking into the natural, like the nutrition part of it and how it all kind of mix up together and affects. So that must have given you a lot of knowledge in terms of connecting those two together. Is that why you started Natology? Because that was the difference that you didn't find other places were doing, where they're just concentrating on one thing, which is just the physical part of it, the skin part of it, and try to make the easy, quick fixes.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you're looking for a long-term, maybe a lengthy fix, but it's long-term, it's gotcha.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what it was. And it was just to help people in more ways than one too, because oftentimes when you're addressing things internally, like we're not only dealing with skin problems, we're also dealing with brain fog or energy problems or bloating or whatever.
Right.
And when you do this,
Yeah.
it like changes their whole world because you're literally
Right.
addressing everything. So
Yeah. Skin is it's one thing how you feel inside with your health, but how you look too is another thing too, and it's so very important. Okay,
This
so
is really cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a lot of questions about skin care, and
too.
yeah,
I like what you said about the skin is a reflection of our internal health. Because you could just see how someone's skin is just by or their inside
Yeah.
health by looking at their skin, which is cool.
yeah,
Which
and
is
it's
really cool.
it's very important for your well-being and for your health, and also for your own confidence too, right? So a lot of people would have an issue basically based on it's one thing to own yourself, and a lot of people are really good at that. If they don't look the best, but if they feel the best, that works for them. For a lot of people, it doesn't work for them, and then so it's very important that you take care of yourself, not only the inside and your body, but also your skin and your face. So, okay, I just want to ask you a few questions related to your business journey, and then I can turn it over to Kevin. And skin is, it's something I'm learning about too. And then, it's interesting stuff that, Kevin, I'm sure that he got to ask, and maybe I'll answer some of my questions. When you're starting your business, so how long you been in with Natology? Like when was that started?
So technically 5 years. I've had Natology 4 years, but I started independently. I just my name was Natasha Rae, Skin and Nutrition, and that was just me in a studio about this size.
Right.
And then 1 year later, I maxed out and I wanted to open a facility. So that facility's been 4 years.
So 4 years you've been in business.
Yep.
What is interesting is that we want to know, how did you come up with the name Natology?
So there's two kind of meanings behind it. The first being the nat, nature, and ology, science, the mix of nature and science coming together and coming up
Right.
with a solution.
Okay.
The second meaning
Like
is
biology kind
yeah,
of. Yeah.
ology is like the study of. So that brings
Okay.
me to the second version of why Natology. So Natasha, my name, and the study, my constant study throughout life
Oh.
of developing
Okay.
this.
That's
method.
what
So-
I
Wow.
kind of figured, because Natasha is our client, and we've been helping her with finding a new location and estimating and providing her some help and the guidance on the construction. And so when I first saw the name, and we were looking at the project, and Kevin brought it in, Natology, and then I saw the owner name, Natasha. So I said, okay, it has to do something with the owner's name, because her name is Natasha, so she took the words, because that's how
Yeah.
Pircon came into existence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's from my last name, so the first three letters is Pirzada. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it was the same you had, but it's crazy. So Natasha, so you have two meanings, and wonderful. So, and then the end part is related to biology, related to
like
the
study
science.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
amazing. So Natology, yeah, that's a very unique name. And do you have, so you only operating one location right now,
Yeah.
but you obviously have plans to open up more
Yeah, I
and
would love to.
expand the side of the thing. How has it been for you, the business journey, like alone? So your skincare and what you do and your passion is one thing, right? But having a business and running that is another thing.
Yeah.
How has that been?
Oh, I have to take a big sigh before I answer that. It's a bigger undertaking than I think a lot of people think it is at the start. I opened, and 9 months later, a pandemic hit. So that kind of,
Slow things
slowed
down
things
and
down and a little bit of PTSD there. I also had 2 babies in that time as well. So trying to figure out how to
wow,
take
business
care of
and
babies
having
and
babies.
a business
Yeah.
during a pandemic,
Oh,
and now
wow.
a recessional downturn here has been a bit of a journey, but still a lot of positive with it. I have the most amazing team behind me and support system behind me. I think that's been most of the reason why we're still standing. We've been able to really be innovative together to get through these tough times, and we've really dug our roots deep to the ground now, and we're just ready to roll for when things are hot again. So, and things are picking up again, actually, right now. Like, we're the busiest we've been in a really long time currently. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, it's been a tough journey, and I never expected all of that to happen all at once. Even the pregnancy, that was not expected either.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of been the business is my third baby, and so it's just been, it's been a tough journey, but it's been a lot of great lessons. A lot of positive has come out of it, and we have a really great tight-knit team because of it, because we've all kind of, been just pulling it through it together. So
Wow, good on you, because it's definitely hard. That's what we kind of preach on this podcast, right? It's just trying to help the business owners and the entrepreneurs, on the way or who are already there. Is that it's not easy. This road of owning a business is not easy, even as small as it could be. Especially the initial years are the hardest.
yeah.
And it takes time to build a reputation, to build a team, and also enhance the knowledge that you already know, to gain on that and doing something more and different than what everybody else is doing. It is the key, but it takes time. So good on you. Yeah, 3 babies pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Two biological human
Yeah.
babies and one as a shape of business that you yeah.
Constant
Because
mom
business
guilt.
is pretty much like a baby. It needs to be watered, like, or you could call it as related to as a human, and also as like living thing like a plant. You need to constantly water it. You need to change the diapers when they get dirty.
Yeah.
You need to feed even if it doesn't want to eat. You have to force it. So you have to do a lot of things like it's a living human being.
Yeah.
And if you don't pay attention, if you walk away from it, it could cause you a lot of trouble. And you're 2 days missing on it, it could cause you 2 months of recovering.
Totally. It requires constant nourishing. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's definitely not easy, but you're doing well. It's getting better. It's, and it's getting busier. And also you have plans to open up more. What do you see in the market, like, as compared to when you first opened up as to now? You think there are more people in the marketplace now? More people are getting aware of about, maintaining and getting better in their skincare?
Yeah, the pandemic kind of created a little boom in the industry because we called it the Zoom boom, because everyone was tired, or like constantly seeing themselves on Zoom at angles that they didn't like. All of a sudden they're like, I have this double chin, what can you do about it? Or, I've noticed that my skin looks this way on camera, what can you do about it? So yeah, there's definitely the Zoom boom. So we've seen a boom in the industry, but Alberta and Calgary, maybe I'm just hyper-focused on Calgary, obviously, but it's a pretty oversaturated industry, so you really have to stand out. They are on every corner and more.
Yeah.
There's a lot of skincare people out there.
Yeah, it's just like really taken off, and
Especially like MLM, multi-level marketing groups.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of places. Yeah, we helped design and build a lot of aesthetic clinics, and there's a lot of new franchises are coming in the market too that they're doing. But like you said, you have to stand out. You have to do something different and offer something better, and that works, right, for people.
Yeah.
That's how you kind of get the name. But it still takes time. I mean, you could be the best on your service, but to reach out to people and gain that trust, it still takes time, especially when it has to do with your skin. So a lot of people are very concerned, like, what's being done. So the good thing, the magical, I think, that ingredient you have in your business is not only your dermatologist background, and then you do physically what's needed on the skin. You also have the background in the nutrition. So you also help them and advise them what they do with their food. And
Yeah, so if they come in with certain skin conditions, or even just a goal like, how do I stay young? There's lots of different things nutritionally that come into play, and women is obviously our largest target market, and we as women go through like so many hormonal changes through life, which really affects the skin. And so we offer hormone testing, food allergy testing,
especially after
DNA
pregnancy,
testing.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a long time for things to go back to normal after pregnancies, and then
You
just
offer
get over
pregnancy
that.
testing too? Or?
No.
Oh, I thought you just said that.
No, the skin goes.
I was like, what?
You don't need a clinic for that. You could come and get it done your own.
Okay, that's you had a special tool for that or something.
Hormones
with
changing
pregnancy,
in
yeah.
woman's
Gotcha.
body. Yeah.
Yeah.
After giving a birth and during that process and after giving a birth, especially, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so we do testing so that we can skip the guessing games and get right down to the nitty gritty and figure out how we can best support them internally. Yeah.
Right. So they
Wow.
have some sort of consultation with you, right? And then you help them through that process.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I don't know if that any other clinic is doing that or many clinics do that at all.
There's a lot of, there is some now. Like, I feel like it's just recently, honestly, in probably the last 2 or 3 years, it's starting to take. Because forever, even in when I went to school, we were told, it's literally in my textbook, food has no relation to skin conditions. And I was actually invited into a few different colleges to guest speak to teach nutrition for skin.
Right.
And their instructors and I basically had to say, scratch that part out of your textbook. That's not real anymore. Like, there's more research out there. Because even doctors, like that, for years, doctors were telling me there's no relation. Well, yeah, there's no probably direct relation. It's not, eat this and that eat a chocolate bar and it instantly creates a pimple. Eat a chocolate bar, it increases insulin levels, which increases oil in your skin, which increases inflammation in your skin, which then it's like the connection and connecting the dots. So that's finally being recognized. There's not a lot of clinics doing it, but there is a lot of copycats who pretend like they're doing it.
Yeah.
So you really got to do your research.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like, I know, like when I eat French fries, I'll get it look a little oily in my face.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious because you said something about pregnancies and stuff. And what is it like? What happens to a woman's skin when she's pregnant? Like, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it really depends on the woman. Sometimes women get, you hear about the pregnancy glow. Their skin turns beautiful. That's what happened to me. I went through life not being able to eat anything without a reaction. And then I got pregnant and it was like I could eat anything and my skin was like clear as it had been forever.
Okay.
Versus other women, they have a really big, we all have really big increases in estrogen and progesterone, which depending on where the women started from beforehand, can improve the way they look or can make things worse. So each person is unique.
Okay.
But ultimately, yeah, you're getting a big rise in hormones that can do one thing or the other to the skin, honestly, yeah.
Right.
Do they turn more gray? Or I've seen some gray pregnant, like gray skin
hormones are
pregnant
wild. Hormones are wild. They'll do like a lot of different things. Yeah. I mean, those gray people probably have been throwing up all day, so.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And everyone's body is
Nutrient
different,
deficient.
right? Everyone's
Yeah.
it's different too. It kind of depends on your own health.
I think that's what sets us apart too, is there's a lot of cookie cutter programs out there, a lot of cookie cutter salespeople out there, and people come in and they want me to design them, like, just tell me, how long is it going to take? And I can never give that answer. Each person is unique. Some people we see results so immediate, and other people's it takes a year or more, right?
Yeah.
And it's just consistency. So we customize 100% each individual who comes in that door. So
That's cool.
Yeah, health is a lot of people, because it's hard to see it physically, how you're improving. Sometimes like workout. So a lot of people want a quick resolve, right? They want it now. So if you want to be in a good shape, good body, they want it now. If I can eat a pill for next 30 days, if it can make me all nice and lose weight and all that. So people go for that, and I'm sure they feel the same way when it comes to skincare health as well. That give me something I can put on my face and it makes me look beautiful.
for sure, people, especially people with conditions, like, they're desperate and they want an immediate result. But at the end of the day, even the strongest drug for acne in the world, which is Accutane, takes minimum of 3 months to start to see a change.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I heard there's some serious side effects as well.
Yeah.
So how do you consult people like that when they come in and they're like, I need something right away? Or how would you consult someone like that?
First of all, integrity is my number one thing. I like my story. That's the reason. That's exactly what I didn't want people to experience in my care. And so I go in with complete honesty, and I have before and after photos on my wall, and I explain like this person saw a result in 1 month. This person saw a result after a year and a half. We don't know what it's going to be like. It depends. Like you can walk, jog, or run to the results, and what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So if you take everything that I recommend today and you start doing it, you're probably going to be a quicker result. But not everyone can afford that. Not everyone's super committed to it just yet. And so, yeah, I explain kind of like the good, better, best options and allow them to decide which direction they want to go. And I'm just really honest as to what that could look like time-wise. But we have so many modalities now at the clinic that if one thing's not working, we can try another thing pretty quickly, and that gives them a lot of hope. And yeah, that also is the reason why I had to incorporate the external treatment portion, because the internal treatment works amazing long term, but it doesn't give it any immediate satisfaction.
How much do you think maybe race has something to do with someone's skin? Have you seen a pattern with, like, let's say, like a white person versus like an Asian person? Like maybe they have better skin, or I don't know. What do you think?
Not really. There's definitely equal amounts of issues. We have to treat different races very differently.
Okay.
When it comes to the external portion of it. But I mean, there are certain tendencies with certain nationalities. Like I do find a lot of Asians will have dairy sensitivities, and I'll often see that I can usually tell on certain areas of their face that they're dealing with acne, that probably is the case. And oftentimes I tell them cut out dairy, and 2 months later they're clear. But
I'm not good with dairy either.
No, yeah,
so,
and that's pretty common. Yeah, so I mean, there is definitely some commonalities, but yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
It's very still individual, and I wouldn't say that one race has more, say, acne than the other. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the I forgot the term, so I wouldn't even start that. But there is something melatonin. Yeah.
Melanin. Sorry.
Melanin.
Like the melatonin. I want to sleep tonight. I was thinking about that earlier.
Yeah,
sleeping
it's
pills
the amount of that in your skin, and I guess but I mean, for the longest time, it's a funny thing. I didn't use sunscreen for my, and and now my wife tells me that I have some spots showing, and then she has those I don't know eyes. She can find them for a very long time. She's so I didn't even know. I thought I was this brown kid who doesn't need sunscreen. Like we got a natural God-given sunscreen. So yeah, all those trips that I had in Kelowna and all the Vancouver, Victoria Island beaches and all that. Yeah, I never, I was exposed in the sun, and I'm like, yeah, I'm all good. And then I'll see all my, white friends and, other people using sunscreen. I'm like, I don't need it. Don't need it. And then maybe it's just a guy thing. I don't know how
it is a guy thing.
Yeah, it's like, I'm a man. I don't need all that. But yeah, it does showing up in your skin later on, and
yeah, it does.
Now I'm more careful. But some of these products, I mean, you can't. I used this product. I was in Florida, and then I took it with me, sunscreen, and then I tried to get the top notch. And I usually consult my wife for that because she's good with that stuff, so she can read all the, German and whatever Russian. And she knows.
Really?
Yeah. So, but I found.
She can read Russian.
No, I mean it. I'm just trying to make fun of the
the
language in medical language. It's like
Cool.
It's like 18 letters, and I can't even pronounce that stuff. So I feel pretty stupid when I'm around medical people because I'm zero. But yeah, I took this and it had some sort of reaction to my skin. And I was also, my eyes were getting very teary and red. So thankfully, I came back and I returned it and they took it back. I only used I just knew it wasn't working for my skin. Even though I'm not very that type of person who have many allergies and, I can pretty much do anything, eat everything. And certain products I have heard like some reviews about them too. It actually creates skin cancer and other things. So the market is very, like you said, there's a lot of there is a lot of opinion, there's a lot of products, but there is not a good direction in like what really works for what and who should use what. So I feel like the industry itself hasn't, like the medical itself, it's an industry in a question for a lot of things. There is a quick fix, and that's what advertise as well, right? Quick fix, rather than health is all about being proactive, not reactive. And sure, a lot of people are like that. We're kind of raised and born that way. We think of reactive solution. When something happens, only then we want to worry about that. So a lot of part of it is as being proactive. And this is what I want to ask you. Is that what you kind of preach in your business for your clinic? So we were talking about women that are pregnant and their health. Is there anything they can do before they get pregnant or during that it can help save their skin? Or what are the proactive acts that you can do that can help your skin?
There's a lot of different ways you can go depending, I guess, on what we're trying to be proactive on skin-wise. Pregnancy is a little bit more challenging because we're limited as practitioners what we can do on them, what we can have them take, because there's not any
Many
research
things
to
they can
back
take,
the
yeah.
safety 100%.
Right.
So we support them with, customized just facials, and it helps them relax. We can address inflammation, and we can help to keep things clarified and clean. But for them, it ends up being a little bit more treatment-based because there's just not much, and like light treatment-based. And so there's not a lot we can do for pregnant people. But for other people, like we're preventing the aging, slowing down the aging process, or people who know that they are prone to acne like myself, like the things that you need to do day to day to make sure that you don't end up where you were once. So there's definitely, it depends on the scenario. But I definitely preach prevention, and obviously aging, like that's the constant goal is preventing aging in this industry. So
For sure.
yeah.
I have a question. Like, I know our audience can be a lot of young men that listen to this. I've been on a journey of like improving my look in my life, and the biggest thing is testosterone levels and how it can help. And I've been reading up that there's chemicals that can reduce testosterone, and one of them is phthalates or pH phthalates, and they're in lotions.
Platelets, yeah.
So I've been really like, I look at everything I put, like I have a lotion that I put on, and it has some stuff in it that's bad. And maybe you know what is good for skin for testosterone levels and how that can help with just like keeping it strong for men.
Yeah, well, the big thing with men specifically, first of all, the whole like skincare industry when it comes to products is such a rabbit hole. We are like, it's like, there's so much out there now, and we're now influenced by paid influencers, and we never really know. Like, everyone's super overwhelmed when they come in.
Yeah.
Which is scammers.
And then the MLM and everything else that comes along. So, but skincare in general for both men and women can have a lot of ingredients in it that can be endocrine disruptors, so like hormone disruptors. So, you want to make sure that you're paraben-free and platelet-free. And
Platelet. You said it platelet.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Platelet?
Those are kind of your main studied hormone disruptors. Same thing when he was talking about the sunscreen. Like, there's lots of ingredients and chemical sunscreens that can be hindering to hormones as well, hindering to the ocean as well. So where you can, fragrance is also a really big disruptor actually as well.
Cologne.
So yeah, like or
perfume.
even fragrance in products.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
so like trying to find things that are a little bit
Yeah.
more on the natural side when it comes to that. I still believe medical grade skincare is the best.
Okay.
So finding a medical grade skincare line that doesn't have all these harmful ingredients is best bet. There's just a lot of research to back them, and they have higher percentages, and they're true to their advertising, I guess. They have to be in order to be a medical grade skincare line versus,
Right.
you know, you go to Sephora and you find products that Kim Kardashian loved, and, you know, I don't know. I could get into a really big rant there, but for testosterone specifically, though, a lot of men who experience skin conditions or hair loss or excess sweating, the testosterone is being converted into DHT, which is like a toxic form of testosterone that causes all those symptoms. And so the goal is to reduce the DHT portion. So basically you're inhibiting the enzyme that's converting the testosterone to that toxic version. And so there are certain supplements and things that you can take to help to quench that and to help to slow that process down so that you slow down the acne and hair loss and everything else that comes with it. So
I've heard,
Sweet.
like, you know, the skin problems and the hair loss for men is because there's excessiveness of the testosterone. And then
For hair loss?
for hair loss. That's the
Okay.
number one reason, I believe.
Yeah.
Is the excessive testosterone. And the way they want to resolve it, if I understand it correctly, is that decrease your testosterone, right? The level of testosterone in you.
they're probably decreasing the DHT. That's the
Right.
version
So
of
are they
testosterone,
actually, when they say that, are they targeting the DHT only, or are they just overall your testosterone level? They're looking to reduce that, and then that would create obviously less production of the DHT, and then
Yeah, it depends on where that person. Yeah, I would
They're-
imagine they're doing a hormone test to make sure that that's the right answer.
Yeah, that's but I don't really like. I think there should be another solution, because like men should have testosterone and the good level of them, especially, you know.
Very needed, man. In life, everything.
Kevin is
Very
looking
needed.
for it.
Yeah.
This is Ken.
It's important, but too much of anything is bad.
That's true. So is it because there's too much, like more than the normal level? That's why they're
Yeah, again, I really think it's just the excess conversion of the toxic version of testosterone. And typically when you're
Yeah, THT.
DHT, yeah. So a lot of times you see that genetically, but with steroids and bodybuilders and things like that too. We see that really commonly. They usually have it on their body as well.
right.
The acne portion, I mean. But yeah,
Just as we wrap up the hormone discussion, I just know there's like
it's like a world of conversations out there on hormones.
I heard testosterone levels are lower, like 50% lower than they were 30 years ago, because of all the chemicals in food and water.
There you go.
So it's just
It's
Big
the
shout out.
phytoestrogens.
for sure. I think really like good levels of testosterone is key for success, in my belief, and in the world. Just to for men to be men, like to conquer and to move forward, that's needed. So yeah, just a thought there.
Yeah, like especially if, like you said, if the research shows that for the last 30 years have reduced, and because they're using that product, so it's definitely not a good way of reducing testosterone. Maybe there is a natural way, a natural remedy to do that, but using chemicals and reduce that, somehow it's not a right way. And I don't think that's the intention, is just because those products bring that baggage with them. And I think, one very important thing, like we talk about, that your specialty being in dermatology and the skincare, and then you having the knowledge and experience on the nutrition side, is a win-win for your clients and the people that you consult, because it's very important what you eat inside and what your body's like it will show on your skin. But it's the other way around too. That if you use certain products on your skin, and eventually maybe your skin looks fine for the temporary and for time being, but inside it ruining your body. Your internal organs are getting affected by those cheap, useless creams and other
Yep.
products that you may use, and like you said, fragrance and like clones and things like that.
Yep.
So it also affects your body in a harmful way. So yeah, there is I believe there is a big lack of knowledge and education among people about these things. And like I can give you my personal example. Like even though I've been very knowledgeable in a lot of things when my career and real estate and construction, but I am completely away from health and understanding the health side of the things. So using the products even that you eat, just at the supermarket, or the products that you use on your skin just because they smell good or they're the first products sitting in the aisle, and not reading the ingredients and what they're made out of. It has put me in a lot of dark side of things that I should have known and I didn't know. So I can actually speak for a lot of people I know, and men are like that, especially busy men. They don't have that much time.
Yeah.
And even though the information is out there, but which information is correct? And so it's a big challenge. And I think awareness and having more talks like this would be very helpful for people to understand that how important it is, and then how they can become proactive and prevent themselves from things that are harmful to them. So yeah, good on you that having Natology and taking the initiative. What is the plan for Natology for the future? What is your vision, your 5-year, 10-year vision?
Well, currently we are in a space, we're busting at the seams. We need to expand. I've decided that I want to kind of expand the home hub first, and then hopefully open up another location or two in Calgary.
Right.
I'd love to imagine that spreading a little further out into the other provinces would be possible too. So that's a 10-year goal. I'm also trying to put together some educational products as well for reasons just like that.
Right. Create awareness.
Create awareness, and also help to enhance other practitioners like me to bring this important part of the picture into their practices. So,
right on.
yeah.
So expansion is the plan for the future. What is your biggest roadblock? What your biggest, that's blocking you from getting there?
This pandemic and the recession that we've been feeling. The thing about the brand that I've created is we've attracted such an incredible, loyal clientele. But because we're pictured to be a little bit more holistic and granola than other, really fancy, uppity type clinics. And so with that, through a recession has come a big kind of downturn in services. Like, we still have maintained our clientele, but everyone's now going from, say, seeing us every 2 to 4 weeks to every 4 to 6 months. And they're just spreading it out. So we're really hoping that this recession, the fear around the recession more than anything,
right,
starts to turn around a little bit. And we have felt that in the last month or so, which has been really exciting. So we're starting to see familiar faces a little bit more often again. So honestly, it's just been, the pandemic and everything, all the collateral damage that it's created.
Yeah.
And just recovering from that.
Yeah, it definitely slowed things down.
Yeah.
Unnaturally, that, wasn't really needed to be. But, and it's finally picking up now.
Yeah, it really is. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And we might have learned our lesson from this experience of pandemic, that we had a lot of people. Like, I think of it, if it were to happen again, hopefully our government and and municipalities and the people don't take the same action again, right? And become too on the one side, like too careful. Okay, no contact and things like that, because it did ruin a lot of things, a lot of businesses, a lot of new ideas. But I think with every hardship, there is a reward. There is something beneficial that's chasing it. So for businesses that have gone through this experience and still alive and doing well and have plans to become and bigger, they're really going to do well in future. Because if you have if you can go through the hard times, the easy times just becomes better.
Yeah, exactly. It should be smooth sailing here on out. Fingers crossed.
Even though we are on the verge of being in another market of downturn, like in a way a recession you could call it. But this one is different, so it may have the different effect on the things.
I think we're in a really great place too. Like in Alberta, I mean, to go through something like this. So
100%. Is like our province is flourishing, more people moving in, the economy is kind of getting there. Okay, so just towards our last questions, and this is actually this is the question that actually probably matters to our viewers a lot, especially the one entrepreneurs and in the journey. What do you recommend for businesses like yours, who's starting their journey, someone who's looking into skincare business or wants to get started in that? What would be your advice to them?
Find something unique that's yours and have a story with it. That I really truly believe that the reason why I grew as quickly as I did was because I had a personal story, and I was very vulnerable in sharing that, and it instantly connected with people. And so I think, that's the important thing, is finding something that sets you apart from everyone else, and showcasing that, and don't be afraid to be vulnerable and share your struggles and your stories, and people connect with you faster, and they like, know, and trust you and want to come in and be in your circle. So
do something that's meaningful, that's close to you, have you are attached to it, like a personal story, and like it's your passion, right? Even though you hit by pandemics and 3 babies, you'll be still keep doing it because you love it, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine doing any other industry. Nope.
Right, and the reason why you're able to do it and still doing it, because the passion is there, the true passion. So it's bigger than money, it's bigger than just owning a business at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think it's also important for people in this industry to know, I think a lot of people open up thinking big cash really quick, and it's not like that. And there's a lot of hustle and a big struggle that you have to prepare for, and just know that you're not a failure for, being slower growth, and that a slower growth is probably a healthier growth, and you're going to really nail it long term. There's a lot of places that just kind of pop up thinking big money, and they don't last very long. So just go in it for the long haul, and know that all those little wins are going to get you far. So
yeah, for sure. Always having that mind on victory, for sure. Is something I've been learning, just being around other people, like business owners like you guys. It's one great thing as well. I did have a question. I know it sounds like we're gonna wrap up. Before we wrap, I had a really question about. I find that I find that a lot of women I talk to, they love talking about relationships and stuff. So I'm just curious about how, as a business owner, what did you do to keep your relationship strong with, like in a marriage or stuff like that?
So not with clients, but like outside, like my other relation, like okay.
Yeah, like how did you manage both, and
personal relationship, families and friend?
Oh my gosh, I haven't been very good at it. You probably already know, Kevin, I'm like so bad with texting people back and like keeping conversations going. I cannot. Yeah. Oh man, I'm not the best person to ask on that right now. I feel like I'm really working on that balance. And this is ironic that you are asking me that, because my New Year's resolution was to nourish relationships. And that meant like with my friends and my family and the clients that are super important to me. And they're going to be my main focus this year, and just nourishing that. So because I felt like that's really where I have been lacking. I've been so hyper-focused on survival mode, if I'm being honest, with both my babies and the business. And everyone outside of that just got kind of pushed to the side during these tougher times. And so...
So are these friends, or who do you mean, clients?
Friends
or
and family. Like, why am I not calling my sisters weekly? You know, like little things like that. Yeah, we've kind of... You know, we lean on each other, and we have our family WhatsApp groups and stuff that we keep in touch with somewhat, but none of that compares to a one-on-one FaceTime conversation with those individuals. And so, keeping the relationships is so important. I've learned that they're the ones that you need to lean on. They're your biggest fans, your cheerleaders, your support system. And even though I haven't connected with them as frequently as I wanted, I couldn't have survived these last 3 years without them. So, I think it's really important to maintain those relationships. They keep you standing.
Yeah, I can relate to that a lot. It's I think the biggest sacrifice that you have, it's your close relationship, and it's very hard to keep track, especially when you're in the struggle and building something. So you don't have enough time to spend and, you know, answer those phone calls or reply to those messages right away. Yeah. So I can relate to that a lot. It's tough. It's really tough on you. And I don't know how you feel. It's like a guilty at the same time, right? It's like...
I have a constant guilt.
Yeah, you're not doing it, and you want to, but you can't. And it's, it's hard. And this is what it is, right? This show... you know, our podcast is about this entrepreneurship and the business, and it's just to get to, you know, for people to understand before they jump into it, they should know, and they should be educated, because if you're unaware, then you don't make the right decisions. If you're aware, then you can make a solid and sound decision about doing something. So do not run away from this, because it asks for certain things and certain sacrifices, but be aware and knowledgeable about it, and then you can be planned when you kind of get into it. Because a lot of people, you know, they see the flashy life, and then it happens with realtors a lot. Because I'm in real estate industry too, and I see that it's like ever since I was, you know, when I joined real estate, even my friends be like, oh man, like, oh, wow, look at that Range Rover. Like, you know, I want to do real estate. But they don't understand that how much effort and time and the energy went into that. And it's still very risky. And then you still have a lot of attachment. Or, you know, and they think of it like, oh, I heard that guy just got his real estate license and he's a millionaire now. It happens a lot. So a lot of people will see the flurries and then they get excited on that. But they don't look at the work, the effort beneath it, the real work. So if you realize that and you can plan around it, okay, I'm going into this for next 5-10 years, and, you know, shake hands with your family members. Like, don't be mad at me because I'm going to be away. But listen, I'm doing this for a good cause, for myself and family and friends, and, you know, and then maybe you can learn something from me, or maybe I can help you out down the road. And you can get that support. That makes you 10x, 20x in your mission.
Totally. Yeah, and I think just all you need to do is exactly that. Like, express that, you know, you're going to be a little silent. And I finally came to the point where I expressed to them that I was drowning. Drowning. And so now they just check in on me once in a while. And it's just quick. They're like, you know, thumbs up if you're doing good today kind of thing. Like, they know I'm overstimulated because I'm, you know, constantly getting poked and prodded at home with babes, and then we have the staff that constantly need me in other forms too. So it's like a constant overstimulation of being needed, and so maintaining conversations outside of those people, just like, okay, I'm going to deal with you later.
Yeah. No,
They
it's
get busy for
yeah,
sure.
definitely a lesson for our viewers, for the business owners, for the new entrepreneurs, and it's something to understand. And hopefully you understand this, that it has, you have to give up a lot, like those fun times with friends and family. I miss so many birthday parties and kind of family events. Doing, because I'm involved actively in the projects and building up the company. So you have to give away a lot in order to reach it. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's, as long as you're committed, you make a plan around it, and you can do your part. Maybe you can help them and be with your family in other ways. And then you can gain their support. Then it's golden, because it will require that time from you.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fair, because I see, like, I work closely with Adeel, and I see how Adeel leads his family from like a male business owner with his wife and kids, and his son. Actually, he has a son. I'm really curious of how it was for you. Are you? I don't know if you're married or not, or are you? Is it? I don't know how it
Legally,
works.
no. Life, yeah, we are. We both were previously married.
Okay.
And so this time through the pandemic, we thought we're just not in a rush, but we're going to move on with life as we would normally. And I'm married, but not married, Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So, like, because I was gonna ask, how did you how are you managing that but I guess you're not married, so it's.
Well, it's the same thing. It's all the same thing. We just don't have the piece of paper to lock us in.
It's one of those like live together kind of things.
Oh yeah, we're married like in every way except for we just haven't had a wedding.
Oh.
Okay, so you're married. Yeah.
Common law.
You're in a relationship.
I'm common law.
Yeah.
I'm in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
He's an amazing father to my kids.
Awesome.
He's very amazing at home. He has had a big career change through this pandemic, and so that's been a little bit challenging for us to work around, because we're used to having him home most of the time, and now he's not. Now he works away, so I'm basically a single mom 3 out of 4 weeks of every month.
Wow.
And so it's been a bit of a learning curve, but we are managing it, and when he's home, we just love and appreciate that time with him so much.
That's awesome.
He's an amazing man. He helps me through a lot of this, even when he's not there, he's a phone call away and helps me get through these tough days. But
yeah, make sure you have a good partner, because this journey is it's not easy. So you're definitely going to need the support and all the help from your partner and their understanding, because it's not possible without them being on the same page on you, because it's so hard. Almost every day, especially in the beginning, you want to give up and not do it. And if you have the mindful partner, that they will assist you getting through it, basically. Yeah, so it's very important. No, that's really good. And we actually had interviewed other people, and they say the same thing. Like, their biggest reason why they're successful is because the support and the encouragement that they can get from their partners.
Yeah, it's hard to do alone.
Yeah, it's already hard as is. So imagine having not people on the same page. It becomes very difficult.
Yeah. This is cool. I listened to a podcast yesterday, and he said that married men have more promotions in work because they're married.
I just heard this stat too.
And like those who are not married, they're seen as weird, or like they're not stable.
Yeah.
Then they're stuck at the same position.
The women keep them in tip-top shape. They're also the healthier men, because the women are making sure that they're being fed right and that they're moving more, and that keep them on their feet,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Cool. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, 100%. It also gives you a purpose as a family that you want to achieve. Something not just yourself, you have another person attached to you, and they're kind of doing the sacrifice. So even, let's say you want to give up, you're like, what am I going to say to that person? Right? It's like, I've been doing this. So it kind of keeps you in check in that sense, and then gives you the, sense of responsibility and sense of, victory at the same time. Like when you achieve those little victories, you can celebrate together and be happy about it. So yeah, it's for sure. So yeah, before you start a business, make sure you get married.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
100%.
not exactly. No,
No, I don't know about that advice. But
Or kind of sort of married. Like
Kevin
me.
is like, okay, I gotta find a wife first now.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, no.
I think mission focused is key
Mission
first.
focused,
Mission
yeah.
first.
Mission first. I say it all the time. It's my personal opinion. If you're single and you're doing this, be at the A game of your business. Figure that out first if you already kind of started it, and especially the initial year, because you won't have a good relationship if you're trying to do one thing and you're not getting better at it and you're not doing well. Relationship costs a lot of time. They take a lot of energy, and you need to water them as well. So if you have your energy diverted into trying to fix a relationship or maintain one, and it's the new relationship, and then you got a new business, now you got two babies, and it's going to become
Yeah.
very hard. So if you're already on the journey of becoming something, and you're like, all my buddies have girlfriend and they're having fun, and don't worry about that. Just focus on yourself, focus on your business, do well on that, and then you can always find, and your victory, your business experience is going to help you find the right person if you don't have one yet. That's what I highly recommend. And if you already got one, that means, make sure that person is included in your plan, and don't leave that person, and don't leave your also your goal and your journey.
Yeah, and whatever, tell them how they can be involved. That doesn't have to be like in your business, but how they can help be involved in you being successful in
Exactly.
your business, and
Exactly.
what parts they can
Yeah.
Help
Make
you
sure they're
improve
kind of
themselves.
included in your plan. And
Yeah.
there's no fun winning, by yourself when you
No.
have someone. So make sure they're included. They understand your agenda, and they're part of it. Like you said, they don't actively have to work there, but they can be part of your support and your success, and and
Yeah.
your downtime as well,
Yeah.
and your the bad time as well.
Yeah.
So very important lessons learned from today's podcast. Thank you, Natasha. You've been great, and I think we learned a lot about skincare and also business ownership. So, any questions, Kevin?
No, I feel well fed today.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Very I
May
gained a
find-
lot of nourishment for skin especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great industry, and we've been helping a lot of clients in kind of that side of things, and it's good to see that it just shows that like the true business that is making efforts to not only just not patch it up from the top, but actually go deep down into it, look on the nutrition side, and then look in how you can fix it by your lifestyle, and what products you should use to make your skin better. I think is definitely needed in today's society as we become more aware about our health. Right? It's one of the key ingredients. So, thanks a lot, Natasha, sharing your knowledge and your experience with us. And we would love to have you back in the studio sometime in the future, and maybe you're on the journey of opening a second location or whatnot, and we can discuss more into the business things.
Yeah.
Anything you want to share with our audience, and last words?
I don't know. I feel like my last little bit was like my inspiring sentence. So, no, I just thank you guys so much for having me. And yeah, I do look forward to being here again in the future, hopefully with some more success to share.
For sure.
Yeah. More success.
Yeah, and
More wins.
if anyone out there is interested in learning a little bit more about their skin, they can contact us.
Yeah. How do we'll put your website and your contact. How do people reach out to you if they want a wonderful skin?
Well, you can find us on Instagram. It's Natology Skin Clinic.
And you have a good promotion happening now,
Yeah,
membership.
we've just started a membership program. We had a lot of feedback from people, going through this recessional downturn and wanting to learn how they could save more money. So we developed a new membership program where they get big savings with a monthly commitment to us. So something that you can learn a little bit more about as well. So yeah, go see our Instagram, also Natology.ca. And you can email me at info@Natology.ca as well for any questions you might have.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, folks. We had a great interview with Natasha. So if there is any questions actually from Natasha or this podcast or any comments, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe our channel, and put your comments in there. And also, if you're a new business owner or you're in journey to become this mega business, like Natasha, do reach out to us. Let us know, and we would be happy to have you on our podcast and share your experience and your journey in this entrepreneurship. So, because I know sooner or later it's going to help a lot of people, and a lot of people the world is changing, and we're kind of going into the business becoming more and more normal, natural for us. So it's better if you have that experience from the people that are already doing it and understanding it well, and then you can learn something from us. So we really hope that it's really helpful for you. I think we'll just end our podcast now. Thanks a lot for everyone being here. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you.
Reach out to Pircon Group with any your quotation and estimates. And for skincare, reach out to Natasha.
Awesome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to episode 25. And looking forward to having you joining us on our next podcast next Friday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.